family, welcome to my channel. It's your girl codenamed Chanel and I'm back, but clearly I'm back with a story time. Okay, so this story time is going to be on how I got my sugar daddy off of Bumble. Wouldn't you like to know the tea? Okay, the tea will be spilt. All right, this wig is not so down. So we're going to focus on the positive, not the negative. So we're not going to talk about that in the comments, right? Okay, cool. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up before you watch it because I promise you it's lit. Go ahead and subscribe and comment below your opinions. I love to hear them. Oh my God. You know what? I've been meaning to shout this company out. JJ Hurd Cosmetics. Girl lip gloss, sis, I've been using it, all right? Period. It's lit. I really like it. Here's the story time about how I met my sugar daddy on Bumble. Stay tuned. Okay, so once upon a time, I was on Bumble, as we all know. So I've always did this same thing on Bumble. When I made my profile, it was like the 2 truths and a lie. And I will always do the same thing. It'd be like, 1, I've been to Colombia 3 times. 2, I'm a sugar baby. 3, I'm from California, right? So 2 of those is true, 1 of them is a lie. I would do stuff like that because, of course, you know, I'm a sugar baby, right? So I would want them to, like, if they're interested in that, of course they're going to swipe. Or if they want to know more about that, of course they're going to bring it up, right? When I message them, because Bumble, if you're a woman, you have to message first. So yeah, when I did that, I used to get so much attention. Now, ladies, y'all I done made a video telling y'all about what I use my profile on. Every single girl went to use that. Every single girl got deleted. Honey, I'm still rocking with the same bio. Okay, sis, I had to shake it up a little bit. But I don't know what the girls were doing out here. Y'all were out there being ghetto. I know y'all were. Bless your hearts, okay? We're not going to focus on the negatives. We're going to focus on the positive. The positive is a lot of you girls are out here finessing. Back to the story. So, this guy, he was in his 60s, 50s, I guess 50s, we'll say 60s. I'm always trying to make somebody older than they are because he ended up being 50. So he has, and I saw that he was a pilot. That was his profession. But his bio was weak and I was just like, whatever. And I wanted to bring up what my profile said. And I was like, did you read my profile, sweetheart? He went back and he was like, yeah, I hope the lie isn't that you been to Colombia because, you know, I've been to Colombia so many times and I have, you know, so much fun. So I kept that I was like, yeah, I've been to Colombia 3 times. And then he was like, okay, so are you from California? And I was like, yeah, I am from California. No, he was like, so you're not from California. And I was like, no, I am from California. And then he was like, okay, so the lie is that you're a sugar baby? I was like, wouldn't you like to know? Because really the truth was supposed to be that I was a sugar baby. But when he said something about, like, you know, being excited about Colombia, I couldn't resist just being like, oh yeah, I've been there 3 times, you know, oh, fraudulent. Somebody help me. So we went on a date. Usually, y'all, I'm ready to sis is ready to throw on her thinking cap and go into dates. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be running up a storm. Oh my God, yeah, I went to Brazil 3 times last year. I tripped, I fell into a prince. Prince married me, we got divorced. Like, y'all, my stories are elaborate and crazy, and it just has them cracking up. The way to their hearts to me is me being my bubbly, funny personality. So, you know, I was ready to go on that date and just be like, bah, 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 booyah, right? So, I didn't ask him for a meat fee, which I say, if you're new to my channel, y'all, this is a finesse channel. So I'm talking about getting bread out of sugar daddies, little daddies, big daddies, trick daddies, anything. I'm talking about getting money out of them. So when I say things like meat fee, it's a fee that you establish with the sugar daddy to make sure that he is who he says he is, and so he knows that you are legitly a sugar baby. And it can be a gift, it can be an amount of money, it can be anything of value, anything you can sell. So yeah, that's what a meat fee is. So majority of the time I ask for meat fees, and I only don't ask. The only time that I don't ask for a meat fee is if I feel like this person has so much potential. And that's how I felt about him. Like, I feel like he has so much potential. Just the conversation flow was organic, and it didn't seem forced, and it was the first time where I didn't have to be super duper elaborate, like, so or like just extra. So that was like cool. So we actually went to one of my favorite places, Eddie V's. Y'all, I love Eddie V's. I love their lobster mashed potatoes. Off subject, but no, I love Eddie V's. So we went to Eddie V's, and it's a really nice restaurant. I love the environment. It's very dim, so people can't even take pictures of you. So if you
scared of people taking pictures of you with old man, I'm telling you, it's dim. They ain't gonna get no pictures. Okay, cool.
And we were, having a conversation, but he is super duper talkative. He was just talking up a storm, and he ended up slipping up telling me that he had a little sugar baby situation. So I was like, all ears. 20s, which I am older than that. So, I just kept listening. Okay, early 20s. She wasn't probably really with us finessing the gay. She probably know what she was doing. And he also talked about how he loves to go to Colombia. He loves Colombian women. I'm black, so I'm just like, it's not Colombian, I'm Black American. So, it kind of, that was a little red flag. I'm like, okay, so is this about to be some type of fetish thing? You about to lowball me or whatever? But he's saying like how he liked to spend money on women, and especially when he went to Colombia, and he this is just something that he does. He feels like a woman should be held to a higher standard. He saw his dad treat his mom like that, gifts and lavish gifts and stuff like that. So he was like, he's always, that's what he's used to. And honestly, truly, I don't want to say blessed, but I have ran into so many men who have fathers that splurged on their mamas and splurged on their, so they seen that growing up, and they would do it to me. Like I never had, well, I have ran into some broke boys, don't get me wrong, or, or some guys who don't want to spend money, but did I run into them for too long? No, I didn't. But I'm going to say, like, I have been so lucky to be able to find, because they're out there, men who like to spend money, who really believe that a woman should be treated like a queen, instead of just calling you queen this, queen that, Cleopatra. They love to throw that queen thing around, but won't give you no titles, won't give you no lands. But when I say treated like a queen, it's just making sure, everything is that you have a crown, you know what I'm saying? And it's not free. So I've been so lucky to run into guys like that. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I've been really lucky. So when he was saying that, he was saying all the right things, like everything that he was saying. So, on the date, I just let him talk or whatever. I didn't have to become Chanel or Dana or anything. And really, he didn't ask too much about me. Really, he was just talking about himself. And at the end of the day, he was like, you know what? You're a great listener. He was like, you're absolutely a great listener. And, he asked me, what's my favorite perfume? And, I told him Chanel number 5, Chanel number 5. And then he was like, I would love to take you to the mall tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. And he was like, and he's a pilot. So he was like, I'm going to be in town for the next few days. I would love to go to the mall with you. And maybe we can, find something. Because he said that he loves a woman that smells good and her scent and all that, whatever. So that was another thing that was just like, oh my God, like this guy just fell into my lap or whatever. But there was some red flags, I want to say, with him. Because I felt like he seemed really sensual, and he was like kind of touchy, and I had to be like a few times. So it was just like certain things where I was like, what? So let me tell y'all another thing after the date that kind of irritated me, that was just like a red flag, and he was about to get blocked. So I get home or whatever, and I'm texting my friend or whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a sugar daddy. I'm about to text him about the allowance situation. I wouldn't recommend texting a sugar daddy about allowance. I would recommend calling if you feel like he's potentially a sugar daddy. Again, we didn't really talk about an arrangement, but he was talking about his other arrangements. So I just remember thinking like, okay, well, now I'm super comfortable talking about arrangement, because you said you had some before. So anyway, long story short, the next day I text him, no reply, right? I'm like, okay, I thought we were meeting at the mall or whatever. I'm like, hey babe, I'm getting dressed right now. I'll meet you at the mall at such and such time if you're still down. Never got a reply back from him for the like 24 hours or whatever, right? So the next day afterwards or whatever, so he didn't reply back to me, and I was really about to block him. And the next day afterwards, I was telling him, like, it really upset me that you didn't reply back to my message. I felt like we had a genuine connection. I love saying that. I felt like we had a genuine connection. I just literally can't believe I was ghosted, And I told him, I was like, I was even thinking about coming up with some type of arrangement, and this is what will work for me. I put down my guidelines because, y'all, it's the same guidelines across the board for me every time that I get into a situation. So, I was like, okay, this would have worked for me, and it just sucks that wasn't going to be able to happen. So, still no reply, y'all. Still no reply back. Because I'm going to keep it all the way funky. I told you a bit of this story on Patreon or whatever. But I'm just going to keep it all the way funky. There was no reply back. So, it was just like, bro, I just waste my time. And I remember getting on the phone with my best friend, like, this is why I charge a meet fee. This is why I always be like, oh, yeah. Because first off, the date was over an hour. I didn't get nothing out of it. You want to wolf all this. You spending money on this girl, Colombian, that girl, Colombiana, Tatiana. And then you want to sit here and not text me back. Like, it was upsetting. I was upset. So I was just like over it at that point. And then I remember a few days later, he texted me. He's like, work emergency. He's like, I have 2 phones. So the phone number that you have, I left it at home. This is 2 days later. And here's my other phone number. So he texted me from his other phone number. He's like, this is my other phone number. You can have it. I am so sorry. He was like, what can I do to make this up or whatever? And I was like, you know what? I can't deal with this right now. I don't want to talk to you. So he kept calling me. And I was like, do you have Cash App? And then he was like, yes. And I was like, well, as an apology, wasting my time. I went up to the mall thinking that maybe you would text me when I got up there. I ended up buying the perfume. I went on Pinterest, found a picture of a Chanel No. 5 perfume. I said, I bought this perfume because I thought, I didn't buy it, y'all. Got it off of Pinterest, the picture of us. I was like, I bought this perfume. I thought that you were going to go to the mall with me, and I spent, X amount of money on this perfume. So I would appreciate it if you reimbursed me for that. That's upsetting. I bought this to smell good for you, and then you ditched me. So he was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this was, and this is not the first sugar daddy I met off Bumble too. This is the first sugar daddy I met off Bumble, but this is not the only sugar daddy I met off Bumble. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. And I have actual screenshots on Patreon. But another thing that I will do in this video, sorry, I know I keep going rambling off the topic, but I will add screenshots of conversations that me and him have had, and then those screenshots will also be available on Patreon, because he did give me $3,000 down on a brand new vehicle. And I have screenshots of him sending, because his way of paying, let me stop getting ahead of myself. He gave me $3,000 down on the vehicle. And I have screenshots of that, or just the transaction or whatever, because he ended up sending me $1,000 and then giving me $2,000 in person. But we'll get into the allowance situation later. So after that, he had sent me like $70 for the perfume. That's how I knew that he was legit. Then I told him we should have a phone conversation. And when we had the phone conversation, I was like, you know what? I told him, like, you're a really cool guy. I really find myself attracted to you as far as your personality and your aura. And I just love how talkative you are. You make me comfortable, all this stuff, just giving him, boosting him up, stroking his ego or whatever. And it was really easy to do that because, yes, our date was really fun. He was really talkative, and I had to do less work, and I really enjoyed that. So after the conversation or whatever, we ended up meeting up for a date, and I had told him amount through text messaging. And I think I told him $1,600 because we were meeting up twice a month. So basically $800 each meetup. I don't do paper meet. I want my $1,600 up front. So when we went on a date, yes, he gave me $1,600 in cash, and then all the other gifts or whatever he wanted to give me money when we met up or whatever was off to the side. We only met up 2 times a month because he was really busy and had a really busy schedule. So, but every month he would give me $1,600 up front, and then he would send me other things. Like if you go to my Patreon, when I went to Jamaica, he sent me $700 to go shopping. Again, he gave me $3,000 on my car. So $1,600 for somebody that I didn't really see like that, and he did grow. Like y'all don't understand. This is literally, out of all my sugar daddy situations, this was the best sugar daddy situation for me, because it was kind of like having a cyber sugar daddy, because he required so little out of me. So little. I sent him pictures, you know, our conversations was really good, really smooth. He never tried anything. And because remember I told you guys, I thought on the date he was this real sensual type person. And in all honesty, like he was doing so much other stuff, like as far as the women he was dealing with, and you know, and again, like he had a sugar baby situation. I think that they still had a thing going on. So whatever they were doing, and then really I was just a friend to him. We'd meet up, we'd talk or whatever, and that was that. And then it was to the point where y'all, we stopped meeting up. We didn't meet up, and he was still giving me my money. That's why I always say, y'all, when y'all do allowance, get everything up front, because it'll make it less transactional, and it is better for you to try, instead of trying to hunt them down to get your money. Get your money up front. I also have a video of that on Patreon. Like I honestly truly believe in that. And you guys can go to my Patreon. It'll be in the link in the description box. But y'all, I have so much tea on how to go about allowances, because I never play with my allowance, whether $1,000, $3,000. I don't play with my allowance. I need it all up front in cash or Cash App. But he was really good about giving me cash. He did use, we use Zelle. And we use Venmo one time or whatever, but you know, I had a little situation with Venmo before, and Cash App. And we also use, he liked to give it to me in cash because he would like to see me at the beginning of the month. So we'd see each other on the 1st and the 15th. So, that's really how it happened. But you know, sometimes we didn't get to see each other. And, that's pretty much it, you guys. If you guys have any questions, just, you know, go ahead and comment below. But like I said, in all my sugar daddy situations, that literally was my favorite sugar daddy situation, because like I said, he would give me $1,600 a month. Then if I asked for money, he would give it to me all month. So and all in all, all together, like per month, I think he was giving me a good probably $3,000 a month. And you know, whether it was cash, gifts, whatever the case was, and I never really had to like worry about nothing. Like I said, when I needed $3,000, I'll show y'all the screenshots. When I needed $3,000 on my car, it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing. And he required so little of me, y'all, so little of me, and I didn't have to make up any elaborate. Like he really didn't. This is the first time I'm saying like he really didn't know nothing about me. Another thing that's really funny is like, when a guy has an iPhone and you have an Android because you're using a text app, they always want to be like, oh, let's video chat. He never wanted video chat. He just wanted a bunch of pictures all the time, though. I'm not gonna lie. He did always want me to send pictures. Not a bunch, but it was like, yeah, he was like, oh, what are you doing right now? Send me a picture. You at work? Send me a picture. Like, it was like that. But yeah, you guys, that's it for my story time. And actually, I did a poll. How'd I forget? I did a poll when I asked you guys, I gave you guys 4 options when my sponsor / boo thing / boyfriend broke up with me. I'm single, y'all. And the story time on that, or my biggest finesse, my marriage story time. And what was the other one? How I started finessing on Bumble and Hinge. And you guys picked my biggest finesse. And honestly, truly, in the grand scheme of things, like my biggest finesse would literally be my last relationship, where like, you know, he's paying all my bills and doing all that stuff, whatever. Like, but you know, it ended up being more than a finesse, because I started getting feelings. Ooh, child, the ghetto. I don't want to draw all of my business, but I am on YouTube. That's my business. But yeah, so I would say that was my, you know, biggest finesse. But also I want to say that this was a really good, to me, this was a really good finesse, and still is a really good finesse. He still send me money, period. My Bumble sugar daddy. If I need it, he still sends me money. But this was really a good finesse, because that's why I honestly say, you guys, Bumble really, like, I still think Bumble is lit. I know the girls went and ratcheted up, but like, when I tell y'all, if I wanted to go on Bumble, and if I still want to go on Bumble right now, I could get a sugar daddy. Like, they're on Bumble, because Bumble location travels with you. So they just like, them sugar daddies be on there. The pilots, the doctors, the lawyers, they be on Bumble. But yeah, that's my little story time right there. And you know what? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell below. Follow me on Instagram, codename Chanel. And go ahead and join my Patreon if you want more game. That's also codename Chanel. And I'm out. Am I out? It's all love, but I'm out. And I'm out. And you know what? I'm out. And of course, you know, I had to talk about my Patreon, because it has the exclusive finesse, 4 tiers. The first tier is going to be the beginner finesse. You guys are going to get screenshots, exclusive screenshots that you need to see. Then we got the ultimate finesse. Honey, you getting lives, you getting videos, you getting all that good stuff. And then the exclusive finesse will be just the group chat. And then I added a new tier, which is the one-on-one mentorship. And I'm so excited about this. Basically, I was helping a lot of girls in the group chat get sugar daddy. So I decided to just make it a whole new tier. Come on. Pull up and join, you guys. Bye.